we've had the best tweet ever already. You can't read it. Why? You can't read the tweet? If you've got anything to say tonight to any of our guests or me, Keith or Jonesy, just tweet us at Rugby AM. Tudog, is his tweeting working?
Yeah, he's working very well. I'll just shout out to Sid. He knows what he's tweeted. I think if I read it out on air, there'd be about 3 words that are broadcastable.
Oh, right.
But it is. I'll let you read it. It's
very
funny.
If you've got any problems with the app, Scott Myers should be listening tonight, who designed our app, and I've been giving him it all week.
That's a good promotion for him, isn't it? If you're having a problem with the app, we have got the guy that made it.
No, seriously, because ultimately, Jones, you'll back me up here, it's a learning curve, right? And ultimately, we can only try our best to get better and better and better. Hopefully this time next week we'll be in the new studio, so there'll be no problems whatsoever, because we went to visit the other day, got this tenancy agreement sorted out, so hopefully, all boding well, we'll be in the new studio next week.
Awesome. 14-year-old kid who designed the app, and he's a big Minecraft champion.
Don't talk to me about Minecraft. I'm trying to ban it from my son's life. It's doing my nutting big time. Any parents out there that understand, I walked in Sunday morning picking Theo up for rugby, walked in, and he's sat in his pyjamas eating treacle on toast, watching videos on YouTube about Minecraft, not even playing the game. What's that about?
The way things are going, mate, I've been telling you, all this technology, media and stuff, mate, they're just how kids are. Don't know, mate, my lad's exactly the same. Been trying to get him off it. His grandma bought him a book today, a Minecraft book, which didn't help the cause, but what can you do? As long as they're good at it, I'm not bothered. But they've got to get out and play rugby, haven't they? Got to play rugby.
Oh, mate, they're all lazy for me, all of them. Anyway, Keith, you want to do some game reviews? Because where do you want to start?
Oh, I can't wait for this.
I am so excited for Keith's game reviews.
I'm not.
Space Odyssey, play it, please. Come on.
Have you got it? He's not got it. Well, we spoke about this already, haven't we? We're a little bit struggling the highlights reviews this week because there's not really much out there. It's Challenge Cup. There's one game on TV. We haven't got the resources to get all the highlights, so we're gonna get a big in-depth review from Pete Emmett about the Halifax game. Big in-depth review from Simo about the Bradford game, and you for the Leeds game, Jones.
Let's talk about the fact that we can't get all the highlights because it's not on TV. There were one game on TV this weekend, and you had all them great fixtures, some really cracking games, and yet there's just one game on TV. What can't the RFL organise it so there's more games, Jonesy?
More games on television.
More games on TV.
Absolutely, but it all comes down to rights and stuff like that, doesn't it? If BBC have got the Challenge Cup, then BBC can do whatever they want with the pictures, and even those pictures that you get on the BBC website, you've got to get permission to use them as well. So it's not even like we could copy them or use them either. But mate, I've been saying forever, every Super League game, right, is filmed every week, and the tries come on the Super League show. So there's no reason why somebody can't stream them somewhere, even if it's just to a website. I'd be awesome if we could stream it to our Simo. Why can't we stream it to Rugby AM website?
Let's do this. Let's have a word with them. Get it. We're going to be streaming the show in the new studio, so you can watch our beautiful faces as well as listen to our beautiful voices. Are you excited about that, Keith?
That's just Pete. He has got a face for radio, hasn't he?
He really has, yeah.
Cheers, lads. Thanks a lot.
Cheers for coming. So that's I don't see any problem with that. I think that's a fantastic idea, mate. Just to see the games a bit of use to us, because all we can really do is read about them, and it takes about an hour to read each game review. But I'll tell you what I did see yesterday, and we will start there. I saw Brett the Hitman Hart Ferris
WrestleMania
at WrestleMania and against Saints, and Danny Brough scoring a drop goal that was disallowed. So we know Phil Bentham pretty well. I think we should try and get Bentham and Bruffy together on the show. It'd be fantastic. And I read one of Leon Price's tweets. Absolute priceless tweet. He said, from one angle, it looked over. And from the other angle, it looked over. So, have you seen the drop goal that never was?
Yeah, one angle it looked over, one angle it didn't look over.
No, but Price said one angle it looked over, and the other angle it looked over.
It didn't look over.
I thought it looked over them both. I'm not going to lie.
I didn't.
Pete, what do you say?
From camera angle in front of the sticks, it looked over. Then, and I'm watching it last night. I recorded it. I watched it, and I thought that was definitely over. Then they showed it from behind, and I thought it just drifted sort of narrowly
And if
wide.
the camera angle is taken just up the right hand side of the post as well. It's not directly in front of it, so it's a bit of an angle. So again, it's a bit of deception there.
So what would you say, Keith? Is that definitely not a drop goal?
It's not my job to call that, and it's a massive debate. But would you say benefit of doubt goes to the attacking team?
100%.
And then you'd have to say you'd have to possibly give it. But the big issue is, why has he not used the technology that's available to him? He's made a decision. And that's where the contentious side of it. If it had gone to the video referee and they'd have said no drop goal, and they'd have cancelled it out, then there wouldn't have been this uproar that there is now. It's just the fact that he's not used the technology available.
He's not a Saints fan then?
I don't know, mate, but I'll tell you this as well. We said before we've met Phil Bentham. He's come on our
He's
show.
a champion bloke.
He's a good bloke, and he does get really up about these things, and he gets upset when he talks a lot about getting decisions right, and particularly in big games like that. And he'll be going over that in his own mind again and again and again. He'll be really upset about the media outcry about it. For me, I think defending him a little bit, there's quite a lot of time between the ball going over and restarting. And there's plenty of times in rugby league games where there's an incident, somebody has a word in his ear and says, listen, you might want to check this. And I'm surprised nobody's, whoever the people, Mr. Uncle Sam in the crowd there, who's got the technologies, nobody's said to him, listen, we need to probably check this and have a little look, because that probably went over for me. I've had a look. From one angle it doesn't look like it does, and it does on the other. We should get it right every time with technology that we've got now, but he didn't go for it and nobody went to him, so something's got to be
End of
talked
the day, if
about.
he'd have done a better kick, we won't be having these issues. He had 3 chances, and the 4th one, it went over the top of the post, and we're not sure. So, works on his execution of his skill, then we won't be having this debate, would we?
Ooh, Keith, you're so harsh.
I know, Keith, you're looking forward to speaking at Huddersfield Giants players' dinner this Saturday night, because you're on your own.
Is that what you're doing this weekend?
No.
No. That would have been funny.
Are you familiar with the word gullible?
Oosh. I know I shouldn't have invited you on. St. Helens had all the big guns back. The last few weeks have been winning games narrowly with the reserve team and the juniors. This weekend they had all the big guns back. And how did you think the Saints played, Keefe?
I struggled to watch the game so much because I was busy running the Manchester Marathon. But I've seen the highlights, and they struggled a little bit at times. 17.16 win, but they've been the form team. They've definitely been the form team this season. And it's been good for them to get Luke Walsh back. He's a massive part of their cog already. He's a great organiser, and he gets the big forward pack moving about the field. And they're definitely up there as a team to beat so far.
From a man who's close to the Saints camp, what do you reckon, Pete? How's the feeling down at Langtree Park this season? Is this the year for the Saints?
There's a good team spirit there. There's a good togetherness with the players. They all get on really well. They're very sort of close-knit bunch this time. I think one of the things about St. Helens, you talked about getting the big guns back this week. One of the things I noticed last season for St. Helens, it was a bit of a transitional season. They had sort of players playing not in the natural positions, and a lot of the young lads coming through. St. Helens have got a magnificent youth system, and if you look at the players they've produced, they're absolute credit to the game. You like Adam Swift, Tom Makinson, Josh Jones. They've all come through the youth system at St. Helens, and they've all turned into very good players because they got thrown in really at the deep end last season.
I rate Percival, mate. I always liked him. I don't know what Keith thinks as being a big centre. Josh Jones and Percival, are they 2 future England centres through the Saints Academy?
Yeah, they've got the potential, and that's the main thing. And they've got some experienced heads around them, and it's all about a learning curve for them. And you can see some one-season wonders, but we hope that they dig deep, and we need kids like that coming through the system. And like I say, it's great credit to St. Helens. They have got a great setup there for the youth structure, and it's starting to pay dividends for them now.
Another crushing defeat for the Giants. They just can't seem to get into the rhythm this season. Obviously, you've been successful in past, Jonesy, winning leagues and stuff. Is it hard to come back after the disappointment of the playoffs? But they had a great season league form last year. Is it hard to replicate that the year after?
Yeah, well, just talking about that game last week, I thought Huddersfield would win this week. and a lot of that was based on what Jamie Peacock said in a week about the emotional investment that St Helens had to obviously put in against us and beating us the week before in the Super League. I thought they'd go obviously to Huddersfield with a few new faces who hadn't played for a few weeks, and it'd be a big ask for them. And I thought that was the game where Huddersfield could really turn that corner and get themselves back into the league and playing well where they want to be, like they were last year. Unfortunately, it's not happened for them, and it's happened in controversial circumstances. I think it's going to be a big shot in the leg for them. It's going to be really tough for them emotionally to get around that, especially with a quick turnaround going into this next week's games, and it'll be real tough. I know they'll be devastated. They're out of the Challenge Cup. They're not doing as well as they wanted to in the league. But champion sides, if they want to call themselves champion sides, they've been building it for the last few years now. Part of that, one of the big ingredients is being able to get over those adverse times and those periods where you go through some tough times and it's not going well. And if they want to call themselves champions, and lads like Sean Lunt have got a lead, who I thought was outstanding the other day, will lead them guys and hopefully be the enthusiasm that they need to get them back playing well again.
I'm sure it'll come good eventually. They've got some great players at the Giants, and I think they just needed probably a little bit of luck. Obviously, Keith don't think so. He thinks it's Bruffy's poor kicking, but they might just need a little bit of luck to get him back involved. But Leeds roared on without Jones-Buchanan in the starting lineup. Few people back in the old team. Bale's come back. Sutty come back. How did the boys look?
They look class, mate, really good. It was tit for tat, to be honest with you. First 15 minutes, it was pretty scrappy. I think both teams were trying too hard, a bit tentative, and it can get into a real dogfight, I think, at Wakefield. They've got a big crowd behind them. There was a massive crowd on the day. Leeds took a load over as well, but I think once that first try went over, the shoulders relaxed a little bit and things started to look a little bit fluent. And as time went on, Wakefield got a few knocks, few injuries. They had a few blags back themselves, Richie Moore, for example, who not played for, I think, his first game this year. And as it wore on, they looked a bit tired, mate, and they looked to be a bit fed up and threw the towel in a little bit, and obviously it turned out to be a big blowout score. But real chuff for lads like Sutcliffe back from Bradford. Has been through a big learning curve there, and he said he really enjoyed it. He thanked Franny Cummings for what he did for him there. Some Mitch A. Church, as you say, Ryan Bailey getting some game time, and it's all great for our squad. And mate, when you look at lads like Ben Jones Bishop, who's still wanting the time. Brad Singleton, some quality lads there, still not getting in size, and obviously I'm injured myself. It's credit to strength and depth that we've got, and I totally agree with Pete there. That's a consequence of having years and years of young kids coming through, and there's no secret anymore that's if you want to be a successful Super League team, you've got to have that youth system producing quality players all the time, and they'll carry it through. And when the experienced lads are out there, the enthusiasm is the ingredient that pushes you on.
I'm going to read out, Keith, the Wakefield team sheet. I want to know from you, is this team underachieving? Because 66, whether it's Super League or Challenge Cup, it's a really poor result. And to me, cause this is the first time I've seen the team sheet, I think this is a pretty good team. Mathers, Fox, Dean Collis and Paul Sykes, Reece Lynn, who looks really good this year, Jared Sammet, Peter Godinay, Scott Anderson, Paul McShane, Richie Moore, Ali Lawatiti, Danny Kermon, Danny Washbrook, then Smith, Tautai, who's a big lad, Scroots and Matt Ryan on the bench. That's like 6 or 7 ex-Leeds players there, so you know them pretty well. Should they be doing better than 66?
Yeah, massively. Wakefield have been putting in some good performances, but you've got to think there that you're thinking about the Leeds team. There's a lot of players there that Leeds didn't want. We could be quite harsh here and say that they weren't wanted by the Rhinos for whatever reasons with the coaches. So, they're not up to the standard that what the Rhinos are after. So I'm being a little bit controversial there by saying that, saying that they're not good enough for the Leeds team. So they obviously need to play better as a team. So they need to play as a team, and to concede 60 points, have they done that? You'd have to say no, they've not performed as a team. Richard Agar has been having them playing real well. You listen to the boys saying that they've got great team spirit. This week, did that scoreline reflect on their performance, or was it just a freak of nature from Leeds? Everything fell right for them. But 60 points to 6 against a fellow Super League team is a very, very poor result. It's
going to be tough as well. They've got it's exactly the same fixture this week. Is it Leeds Wakefield this week?
It is, yeah.
Headingley.
And I think Wakefield have got a fair few injuries. Listen to Richard Agar, they've down on enthusiasm. Leeds are doing well, mate. I know they're my team and I'm biased. They're in a good place, real happy and confident. Probably benefiting from the fact that they haven't got me in there flying in from E-defender, missing tackles and stuff like that. But
everybody needs a settler, Jones.
That's it. Just driving tackles.
I don't know if you saw, Pete, the other week, during his first game back, he took a settler on 5th tackle, and it keeps been giving him it ever since.
He's giving it himself. That's the thing, though, about sport. It's a great thing in sport. Adversity sometimes brings the best out in you. We've said there's a lot of ex-Leeds players there coming back to Headingley. They'll be after putting some wrongs right, and that's a great thing about sport. They've got a short turnaround where they can come to Headingley, they can put in a great performance, and everything will be forgotten about.
They've got naught to lose, have they? Wakefield now. And you just named that team there, Simo. I agree with it. There's some quality players in there. Paul McShane, I rate Paul. I think he's a really tricky, quality little player, and people like him and Richie Moore will want to come to Leeds and embarrass him, and prove people Keith wrong. Who say that they moved away from Leeds for whatever reason, but it's dangerous this week, Leeds, and us boys are going to have to be on the ball.
Going to move on, Keithy.
Yeah, well, like we said, the Challenge Cup this week, and there's not been very many shocks. I think the biggest one, Hunslet 27, Workington 10. That's Championship 1 v Championship 2. The Championship 2 team, Hunslet, obviously the lead team, came out good. They're beating Workington, which is great to see them in the next round of the Cup. Halifax against Widnes. By all accounts, Halifax really closely in this game for the last. Up until the last 20 minutes, and then Widnes seemed to just show the fitness and the class and pull away in that game. You being a big Halifax fan, you'd have been cheering in the stands. You better have been.
Keith,
nope.
I don't know if you're listening, mate. Yesterday,
Everton.
With me commitments with Everton, I tell you what, when
priorities.
When the draw was made,
Halifax, we are lifelong love.
They are, yeah. But
they don't pay the bills.
No,
do they?
no. And I had a big gas bill to pay, mate. No. On a serious note, though, when I listened to Challenge Cup, and when I thought if Halifax can get an home tie, it'd be fantastic for the club. And I'll send in, and we do Widnes Vikings at home. I were absolutely ecstatic. And then I looked at the day of the game were, and I couldn't believe it because Sky changed the Everton Arsenal game from the Saturday to the Sunday, which meant I missed the Halifax game. So when I drove past the Shea yesterday morning on my way to Everton at 9 o'clock, I was felt a bit sad really because I was gutted that I was missing the game.
Who was the match day announcer that?
Yeah, you asked me, but I was doing Bradford.
You were there.
We got,
Brady.
I got Brady, yeah, and I rang him up today and I congratulated him because the feedback I've had from him has been immense. And I've lost my job today. That's why I'm here on this radio station.
He's good at that, Simmer. He found me in gutter as well.
Yeah. Good lad.
Found another one in gutter. Halifax, they've started to pull it together this season. Obviously, we're pretty close to the club. And after a bit of a dodgy start, we beat Sheffield. I thought that was a turning point for us. And things are looking up for this season. Do you think they can finish top 2?
Where we're going, yeah, there's a lot of confidence in the camp. Like you say as well, Alex, I think we did get off to sort of a jittery start, but if you look at the games against Batley and Featherstone, we could have actually won them.
Batley that were a heartbreaker. It really was. Vinnie Finnegan touched the ball twice in the whole game, scored 2 tries. And the amount of drop balls, it's just so frustrating, isn't it? But that league, I've said it many a time, from seeing a few championship games, the league is brutal. It's like such a tough because they just don't have the ball won't move as quick as Super League, and you get some real punishing, horrible tackles, and just genuinely like lads who probably aren't fit enough or aren't good enough for Super League. Instead of just
there is some weight in there in that division.
It's like not dropping down a level. In a way, it's kind of stepping up a level in physicality because they don't get that. They don't. You don't get missed. You just get smashed. Yeah. And it's like you see some lads like Alex Shaw from Batley. If he hits you, you're not getting up. He's an absolute giant, huge guy, and there's the division's full of them. Every team they've got 2 or 3 guys who probably haven't got a step and haven't got quick hands, but are just big, raw bone, horrible blokes.
Well, when you came down for the Halifax Batley game, one of the guests in the lounge was Alex Walmsley, and I had a chat with Alex, and I says, you've gone from Batley over to St. Helens, how you found the transition, and I spoke about the differences between Championship Rugby and Super League, and he said that Championship Rugby was more physical, really, and a bit more.
Yeah, he said that to me a few times.
Bench press league, innit?
Yeah.
What do you say about Platty? Obviously, a little bit controversial, which should have been picked on last week. But Platty getting on his Twitter account saying that everybody is into the growth hormone in the championship, and it's a massive statement for him to come out with.
Yeah, he just kind of went under the radar, that one, didn't it? I'm not sure. There's some big guys there, and like yourself, if you see guys on, I've been going to gyms for years. Obviously, not trained very hard, but it's like I thought I'd get in there before you guys. I get that right in there. But you see guys on steads and you see guys on growth, and growth just cuts them up and stuff and makes them a little bit stronger. So it's not like someone's been on Decker or Sus and like roided out of the mind. You don't really see that kind of size, but. I would have said, personally, seeing a few lads, I'd say there's a few questionable ones that you'd think, well, probably a bit bigger than they probably should be. So I don't know. I'm not pointing fingers or going to accuse anyone. I'm certainly not going to get on Twitter and throw it out there. But it's like, I suppose Platty's been in Super League a long time, and he's playing against guys who probably shouldn't be as strong as they are. I'm not sure. Ask Platty. That's my answer to that.
I know myself when I've been, I weren't a great player myself, but I know when I've been to the gym with Keith, he's been surprised at my strength, haven't you? My physical strength.
I have, yes, you've been very impressive.
And you wondered if I'd been on something, didn't you?
Yeah, because I couldn't believe how hard you trained.
Is that when I collapsed on the sofa bed?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Pete he lives up in higher class Ovenden, and
Avendon.
And we used to go to the same gym. We used to see Pete in there a few times, and used to get him along, say, "Come on, mate, jump in this training session, give him a little bit of a touch up."
With Ambler.
Yeah, we used to get.
Excuse me, can you just
cheese in there
rephrase
as well.
that, Keith?
No, we used to give you a nice little touch up. And this one day, thought, give him a right hard session here. And next minute, Pete says to me, I'm just gonna have to go for a little bit of a drink. Ended up disappearing. Came back white as a ghost. Had to lie down. He said he just ended up getting shot. He had to go get a bottle of Lucozade because he just died. He'd just gone.
He absolutely killed me, mate. And I thought I'm going a bit here. I'm going a bit dizzy. And I said, Keith, I'm just going to nip round here and get a drink. I went round the corner, I collapsed on this leather sofa. Bloke from gym, he says, "Are you okay, mate?" I went, No, I think I'm going to die. I said, but don't tell Keith. I'll never live it down.